Well, you know, it's the first year being on the next-gen consoles. We've gone to extraordinary lengths to bring WWE 2K15 on Xbox One, PS4 to the fans.
When you move on to the next gen of hardware, everybody wants to see the game look amazing.
This was a perfect opportunity for us to really reignite this franchise.
We looked at, kind of the fundamentals of gaming, visuals, gameplay, and audio and presentation. We wanted to bring that to a whole new level that the wrestling community hasn't seen yet.
And I've been pushing and wanting to really just do something different with how not only our game plays, but I wanted to change the game for anybody else that thinks about making a wrestling game.
Well, when we started building 2K15, it was kind of a big undertaking for us, and we really took a step back and looked at where wrestling had been in the past, and we decided that we really wanted to bring a lot of what we have in our visual concepts games to the table for wrestling.
Our goal was to shoot for broadcast. After NBA 2K14 came out, we knew we had to up our game. We pretty much had to rewrite all our tech from scratch.
Oh, the WWE Universe letting them hear it!
In order to get the superstars in the game and scan these guys, we had to go out on the road and go where they go. And these guys are traveling every day, and we had to figure out where they were going to be.
We've had guys in vans for weeks on end, chasing them around from event to event, setting up in the backs of stadiums. We've had people fly in and out of almost every city in North America, it seems, at one point or another.
We brought a crew over there, we set up shop backstage in guerrilla almost. We had them do their signature expressions, we got their flex maps, we got everything.
By now, we've actually scanned almost everyone on the roster for the game, which is quite an undertaking.
Well, the new face scanning system is off the chain, brother. I mean, everything looks like it's really breathing, and it looks like it's the real deal. It's unbelievable.
No, the Usos have never seen no gen face scan system like that before.
Being in the new video game is unbelievable. You know what? The technology is crazy.
We're huge gamers, so it's pretty cool to see how behind the scenes work and how the machinery, the technology goes, man. It's pretty awesome, man.
After that, we actually get into kind of the commentary, and we've spent a lot of time on the road with the talent, recording them in side-by-side sessions, so we get a very authentic commentary system, like they're sitting there actually ringside night by night, letting the commentary fly.
Now, knowing Triple H the way I do, I'm not at all surprised he inserted himself into this match.
You don't know Triple H. You just say you do. You never had a conversation with him ever.
We hang around. We hang out.
Yeah, sure.
So when the fans pick up the game for the first time, they're going to be blown away.
With the new hardware, forget about it. The game is shaping up. It's looking beautiful.
Not only what they see visually, what they hear, and what they're playing.
It's that perfect merger of the aesthetics, the most lifelike models that have ever been in this game.
It's a completely different game.
One thing we wanted in the gameplay for WWE 2K15 was a new set of control to go along with the new pacing of the matches.
Bring in, any game, once there's a console transition, it can be difficult. The one thing that the designers really wanted to do was revolutionize and evolve this game.
One of the things that we realized is that the games to date had somewhat of an arcadey feel to them.
I've been playing and working on these games for a lot of years, Fundamentally, the characters may be different, but they all play the same. And that's one thing that's always stuck in my craw. But now, when it comes to the Xbox One and the PS4, those shackles are off.
So we started looking at things like pacing and flow and how does a match start? What's the middle feel like and what does the end feel like? So there's a really good buildup of momentum and excitement through the course of a match.
There's that moment in the beginning where they're testing each other out. They get into their chain wrestling, side headlock, cool transitions here and there to kind of gradually build the audience into the match before they start getting into their signature offense.
We switched to a more cinematic camera. It focuses in on the characters' faces. If Randy Orton's, the one putting the hold on him, you see that he's fighting for that extra little, twerk.
And I'm happy to say that we've finally been able to, implement that in this year's feature, and it's just changed the game.
Oh, there it is!
So as part of that, we rethought everything from animations, controls, how you interact with the people, how fatigue sets in. And to do that, a big part was actually shooting a lot of animation.
Working with visual concepts, we have been mocapping like crazy. Let me tell you, when I'm not in my office, I'm at the mocap studio getting all the latest moves, entrances. The motions we're getting are just simply amazing.
Wrestling video games aren't anything without animation data, and so we brought the game up to our own 2K mocap studio and have shot an immense amount of animation, over 6 times more animation than was shot in any previous year, and that's going to help us really kind of bring this new experience to life.
Seeing the way the game is coming together on Next Gen is really impressive, and as a fan of the series and as a fan of wrestling, we've really hit our stride with this game.
And as beautiful as this game looks, it's the gameplay that's going to keep them entertained and playing this game for months, years on end. All that hard work, the long hours, it's all worth it. Once it's out there on the shelves and the players get a chance to experience it for themselves. And that's what we're in this for. As a fan of wrestling, as a fan of the WWE, that's a feeling like no other. It really is.
With MyCAREER, for the first time, players are going to be able to create their own superstar and sort of live that dream. And to see, where we really did push the envelope, it's exciting,
And then once we got here to 2K, of course, NBA team, like they've had years of experience working on career mode. So, I think everybody working together, we were able to really dial in just what that experience would be for us, in terms of wrestling.
Actually, this whole mode is because of the fans. We want to deliver a game that's something they could play for a really, really long time.
We definitely wanted to try to give players that experience of beginning from the very bottom and taking your character, growing your character, evolving them. We could not do a career mode without NXT. That is everybody's first stop.
You're going to get into rivalries with all the top guys. You're going to be fighting for positions on pay-per-views and work your way up to WrestleMania and SummerSlam.
It's rags to riches almost. You're a lucky hopeful down there in the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, and you take them from the bottom all the way to the top.
Don't let go of that foot. When you turn him over, don't let go of his foot. Okay. You know what I mean? If I rely on you, if I'm going to do this and say, hopefully he knows how to take a good bump, but if I don't throw it, I open a door for him to do what he wants. So it's his interpretation. But if you take him, he knows exactly where you want to go. Yep. She's at. Chad, go straight, Chad. Chad, go straight.
The Performance Center has changed everything. This place here in Orlando is going to transform the sports entertainment industry. And of course, it's the home of NXT.
Similar to the minor league baseball system, to where you have different talents come and you grow and you see who they AA, AAA, single A, and they move up, and then one day they get the call to the major leagues.
And NXT is really where you have to become good to get into the ring here and then become successful at the NXT level to make it to the next step, which is Raw and SmackDown.
Sorry. So last set? Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people they may think you go to a training center for a few weeks and all of a sudden you become a WWE superstar. And so much goes into it and so much hard work and desire and passion and a lot of broken hearts. To be able to see that process will be an eye-opening experience. It's really great for me, but it's great for the fans to know that we have one house, one place, and we house the greatest entertainers in our industry that will be coming up.
So when I first got to the Performance Center, it was amazing. Seeing them train for the first time and seeing them learn the ropes of what it means to be a WWE superstar, that was exciting.
There's nothing in the world like it. Probably the Mecca in terms of sports entertainment facilities.
We got 7 rings. We have a state-of-the-art weightlifting facility with a training room.
So we are in here as much as we possibly can, working, honing our craft, and hopefully soon making our way up to SmackDown on Monday Night Raw.
Once you get to that main roster, it's all about making a name for yourself. You're going to have choices into which way you want to go. Do I want to go for the United States Championship? Do I want to be a fan favorite or a rule breaker? All these things sort of factor into how your career is going to play out.
To see that come to life in the game is what's going to be the intriguing part. You're building someone's career. You're growing with them. You're going to go through it with them, and we're going to take you there.
Oh, here we go. We knew these two wouldn't be able to get through this without beating each other senseless.
And now the ability to be able to bring a lot of these superstars and divas from NXT to life is a really, really exciting part of the game. And it's going to give people a tremendous opportunity to really vary the amount of superstars and divas that they're able to play in this game.
To be part of this game is huge for these kids. This is groundbreaking. And now to be recognized as part of this project is just amazing. Everyone at this tryout has some level of training or experience, but we don't care about your resume here.
If you look at NXT, it's this giant roster of superstars who are on the brink of becoming that next big thing.
It really is a very organic way of going about experiencing what it must be like to be a true blue WWE superstar.
We're going to have a few surprises out there. We're definitely going to have some DLC. We're going to have more NXT superstars added into the mix. We're also going to have new movesets that you're going to be able to download, which is going to be pretty cool. And also, we're just going to listen to the fans. So for each year, we can make a better and better game.
It's just a game that I feel is going to be like no other. It's going to be an experience that they've never had in the past. It's just going to be the best.
I think fans are going to love it.
I'm ready for this game. Are you ready for me in this game?
In last year's game, when we covered, WrestleMania, not just one, but 30 years of WrestleMania as our single-player campaign, everybody said, hey, as cool as this is, how are you guys going to top this the next go-around? We covered WWE in a macro sense by looking at the history of their biggest event, but we all took a step back and said, well, what are the guys fighting about?
I mean, a lot of the WWE in general and a lot of things that are memorable are those rivalries, right? That's what we really wanted to capture this year, whether it's the rivalry between John Cena and CM Punk or Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Those were very heated rivalries, and those were very memorable.
At its core, wrestling is all about two guys who have issues in the middle of the ring and going toe-to-toe and settling their beef.
For us to capture that in a game, and especially on Next Gen, where we can really, really, really sort of push the envelope of how these rivalries are going to look digitally, it was exciting.
So that was inspiration for 2K Showcase this year, is to really focus on the personal animosity and rivalries between some of the biggest superstars in the WWE's history.
And now Ryback's got Cena up, looking for shell shock here. Ryback marching around the ring, shell shock to Cena. We have a new champion. We have a new champion. Wait a minute. What is this?
For John Cena and CM Punk, it was sort of a clashing point of two of the top guys in the WWE, and both of them were sort of at their peak. We really wanted to go that route for one of our rivalries, just getting one in there that's fresh in people's minds. And then the second one, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, that's just a classic rivalry. It spans so many different parts of their career and so many different angles of their career, and we wanted to capture that as well.
How much more can either one take or give? What is it going to take to win this thing? Does the game have the strength to deliver one more pedigree? Yes! Look at that, Cole. They're both down and out.
It's funny because when you first start a project like this, you're so passionate about it, and you have all these crazy ideas that you want to put in the game. And I think everyone that's a fan of the WWE can find a superstar that they can relate to. That's what we're trying to do with Showcase Mode, is drive that home.
You really get a sense that you're in kind of this bigger-than-life battle with the other opponent, and I think a lot of the hardcore fans are going to be really excited.
That's why people are in the stadium. It's the angles, it's the rivalries, it's the emotion that the performers bring into their matches. There's lots of history, just lots of cool moments that I think our fans are really, really going to dig.
The most electrifying man in all of sports entertainment. And hey, watch out! Wait a minute! What is Punk doing?
You have a really extensive DLC content we're going to be unleashing for this year. We have 3 showcase add-ons. We've got a chapter that revolves around Christian and Randy Orton. We've got one dedicated to Mark Henry and his Hall of Pain, and another paying homage and respect to the Ultimate Warrior. We really upped the ante as far as what we're doing this year for DLC, and basically not giving any player reason to eject that disc from their machine this year.
I think they're going to be blown away when they pick up 2K15 for the first time.
Michaels is feeling it. Oh, look at this. Tuning up the band. Yeah! Oh, sweet chin music.
Any fan of the WWE, like when they boot the game up on November 18th and they play that first match, or they step into, you know, MyCAREER or, you know, 2K Showcase, and they see just the loving attention to detail and just, you know, the passion that went into this, they're gonna say, yeah, this game was made by fans of the WWE.